5, 6. 6 characters left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're only half done with the first game's story. God damn. Let's see. It's 3 Persona characters, 3 Persona 3 characters, 3 Persona 4 characters. So I think we will go with Akihiko next. Before we do that, though, I want to try. I want to see something. Whoops! Didn't mean to do that. Display settings. There we are. Okay, so I'm going to take a bit of a bio break, and then we'll go on to then we'll go on to Akihiko's story. All right, I am back. Let's go with Akihiko, because now you guys need to see what he was doing.
I'm a long way from home.
Ever since I left Japan, I've been constantly searching for places to test my strength. Before I knew it, I wound up on the ass end of the globe. As I walk down a dark alley, a dry wind blows. I can see people inside the buildings, but I don't sense any life here. Just because it's quiet doesn't mean that it's anything close to safe, though. Well, it just shows that not everywhere in the world is affluent. I sense a hostile presence from somewhere. I glance around and see 2 thugs smirking at me with narrowed eyes. Our gazes meet, and suddenly those thugs, a seedy-looking large man and a thin man, stand before me.
Yo, bro, haven't seen your mug around here. Lucky thing we noticed you. Come on, man, spare us some change. We just need a little, man. We'll double it in no time in that gambling den over there.
You're in my way. Move it.
The thugs are momentarily stunned by my answer, but their shock quickly dissolves into anger.
And we were being friendly. I should have pulled this on you at the start.
The large man's words produce a fusillade of spittle as he simultaneously whips out what he believes is his trump card. It's a gun. He waves the muzzle in front of my face in a threatening manner.
Like that, and you gotta resort to a gun? Pathetic. To begin with, do I really look like I carry that much money on me?
Aren't you Japanese? Most Asians stupid enough to come waltzing around here are loaded. Come on, give me everything you got, or it's gonna be your brains on the floor.
The large man is quite short-tempered. I wonder if his mood swings are due to a lack of calcium in his diet. I guess you really don't get to choose what you eat when you live in a place like this. The large man apparently realizes that he can simply take my cash when I'm dead, and his fat finger squeezes the trigger before I can reply. A gunshot rings out and sends a shockwave through the alley's dry air.
Son of a bitch!
The large man stands stupefied. He recollects himself and throws a few more rounds my way.
What the? What kind of hit him?
It's because I'm dodging his shots, not the bullets. They obviously move faster than the human body. When a slow man uses a gun, the problem is that he has to point the gun where he wants to send the bullets, and I can see him doing that. And just reading his gun's movement and getting out of his line of fire before he shoots. I'm just reading his gun's movement and getting out of his line of sight before he shoots. It's that simple. And that's what I'm talking about. That is not the move of a musclehead. He is making logical steps to dodge these shots. I bet he thinks there's something wrong with his gun, or he is not aiming well. Some people. I think he's the embodiment of the phrase "big head, little wit." He never realizes what's happening. I dodge his hail of bullets and quickly close the distance to my attempted murderer. I get a good look at his face, is contorting in fear and confusion. I strike once, burying my fist in his porcine gut. His body lifts off the ground for a brief moment before it collapses to the ground. The massive impact lifts a huge cloud of dust, and the man doesn't stir.
You should be more careful who you pick your fights with.
You bastard!
The thin man pulled something from his pocket. I hear a loud click of a switchblade being folded. You don't want to do that, dude. He drops into a crouch, coiled and ready to strike.
At least you know the basics.
The reprobate extends his arm and thrusts the dully shining knife toward me in a telegraphed attack. And check out the language he's using. I get inside his arm and swipe the attack and swipe the attack angle out of the blade out of the way with my right hand, striking my left hand and underneath his jaw. Since he attacks in the most obvious fashion, I repel the attack with the most obvious counter. The uppercut lands flush, and the man is cast into the air as he utters an undignified scream.
I gotta hand it to you for not abandoning your pal.
Sheesh. I didn't come on a journey to waste my time getting into scraps that don't even rate as a good warm-up. Though honestly, pretty much all that I have encountered so far in my training was a continuous morass of tedious quarrels. Now, up ahead, huh? I noticed that the dust from the fat man's landing has gotten on my cape, and I brush it off. This is the only mark that I took from the encounter. Bodily injuries will heal all over time, even if they're left alone. But the same can't be said about one's clothing.
Damn, that was impressive stuff.
Someone speaks to me out of the blue. I glance over to see a man who looks like a bartender, hesitantly emerging from a nearby bar. It seems he was watching the whole thing unfold.
What a fight! And against a man with a gun? Are you a ninja or something?
That's not important. Where are the police? I'd have thought all the gunfire would catch their attention.
The bartender responds to my bewilderedness by laughing in an even more dumbfounded manner and shrugs.
Things like that happen all the time. The only authority here is the cartel. Everyone who's not connected dies in poverty. That's been how it works for over 50 years.
I see.
Those who are not connected. Upon hearing that, a bitter feeling wells up inside me. Everything in this world relies on connections, and connections are just another form of power. People say that it's most important. What's most important can't be obtained by power, but I figure that means the other 99.9% of everything is simply a matter of power. That includes one's lifespan. And at times, the lifespan of those close to you as well.
Hey, why not stop in for a drink? It's on the house. Seeing what you did made my day.
The bartender cheerfully snaps me out of my ruminations.
Sure? The cartel you mentioned might not like that.
Hey, I'll get off easy compared to you. All I did was offer you a drink, not beat the hell out of their goons.
A drink,
Yeah,
huh?
good stuff in stock.
The way he words that.
It's hard to obtain that certain something around here. I haven't had any for a couple days now.
Oh my god. Phrasing, Akihiko! Phrasing!
Actually, I'm starting to go into withdrawal.
Oh my god, Akihiko.
What is it you're talking about, mister? Listen, I run a clean bar.
Protein. I need a double shot of protein.
Huh? Pro.
Make it quick. It's only half as effective 30 minutes after I've burned some calories.
Sorry, I don't know that brand. Is that some kind of sake?
It's alright if you don't have any.
Sheesh, what am I thinking? You never know unless you try, but it was pretty stupid of me to expect a bartender in a dive bar like this, that a bartender in a dive bar like this would have protein drinks. I shake my head and collect myself. When I finally return to Japan, I'll have all the protein and my muscle fibers are crying out for. It sounds great just thinking about it. Mountains of protein as far as the eye can see. But my daydreams of what a world of infinite protein and would be like are interrupted. I take out my cell phone and see that I've received an email. There are 3 important things on the sub-display. The first thing is the icon that tells me that international roaming service is in effect. Second is the name Karijo. And the last thing is the word urgent.
Looks like opportunity's knocking sooner than I expected.
I can't hide my smirk. The fact that the message urgent and means that I'm being... The fact that the message is urgent means that I'm being summoned for a mission.
With me. I haven't found any opponents worth my time here anyway.
Plus, the training journey I'm on was preparation for all these missions. It was my way of showing that I would be suited for taking these special missions as a professional. It seems that either my plan is working, or this is the fate, or this is fate telling me that the time to display my results has come.
I can't wait to see what kind of challenge there is in store for me now.
I imagine what this unknown enemy would be, and thrust my left fist proudly toward the foreign winds. I can't keep my body from trembling with excitement, and I plant my fist into my right palm. Early morning, May 3rd, Japan. After a flight that took over half a day, I arrive in Japan. Every time I fly, it always strikes me how cramped the seats are, and how dull it is to be on long flights. Considering that we're being placed in a hypoxic environment, and it's a way is not to equip the seats with pet decks, or give us access to some cardio equipment. As I head toward the arrival lobby, while thinking about my ideal airline, I hear something I haven't heard in a while. I hear something I haven't heard in a while. A newscaster reporting in my mother tongue.
Good morning. It's May 3rd, Constitution Memorial Day. Our top story today is an update on the hijacking 2 days ago.
And that was the hijacking that Iga stopped.
5 men attempted a daring hijacking of a domestic airline. the first such incident in Japan in the 21st century. Police began their official interrogation of the arrested suspects this morning. But all depositions have been vague so far, with suspects complaining of muddled memories. Psychiatric exams are being considered.
That must be the incident she mentioned in her email.
2 days ago in Japan, a jumbo jet bound for Kagoshima was hijacked by a group of 5 men. The hijacking attempt was quickly dealt with because of the hijackers' half-hearted planning, but there was a bigger issue. Unbeknownst to the public, the passenger flight that was hijacked was supposed to have a very important piece of cargo loaded onto it. During the confusion surrounding the hijacking incident, the cargo seemed to have been stolen before it was loaded onto the plane. The hijacking was just a smokescreen for the real crime. Using a hijacking as a distraction for a simple cargo theft is pretty daring, but it's also desperate and risky. My mission is to retrieve that cargo from whoever wanted it so badly. This isn't a situation that can just be left to an ordinary policeman. This cargo is extremely dangerous, and the retrieval has to be done discreetly due to its sensitive nature. I look away from the monitor and begin walking in. My cell phone immediately begins ringing as if the caller was watching me the entire time. The name Mitsuru Kurijo appears on the sub display. Mitsuru Kurijo. She is the one who summoned me here for this mission. I didn't tell her any details about my return flight, but she must have found the information on her own and called after learning of my arrival. She's still as prepared as ever.
It's me.
It's been a long time, Akihiko. I'm sorry to call you back on such short notice.
Don't worry about it. I was at a good stopping point.
Mitsuru has much greater understanding, much greater standing in the group than I. But we've been classmates since middle school, and she fought alongside me in my biggest battle. I have a feeling that the only reason we were able to pull through such an ordeal was because we helped each other back then.
Who's our next enemy?
Don't be so impatient. You received the brief I sent you, right? What I didn't say directly in it is that the stolen cargo was from Ergo Research.
I figured it would be Kirijo group related, with you having to call me back.
Most ordinary people in Japan would have at least heard of the name Kirijo. The Kirijo Group. A large conglomerate, one of few within Japan that can boost a large market share overseas. That can boast a large market share overseas. Their influence is so ever-present that they touch many aspects of a typical citizen's daily life. Mitsuru is part of that organization. In fact, she is the only daughter. Of its founding family. She grew up with untold responsibilities and expectations, and has been forced to navigate tumultuous social situations ever since she was young. That is why she has a refined personality, maturity beyond her years, and strong leadership skills. Although the same circumstances also expose her to the occasional surprise lapse into naivete.
What was inside this cargo?
The 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Labris.
An anti-shadow weapon? Does that mean...
Yes, she's one of Aegis's sister units. She was sealed at the time of the robbery, but we think it's very likely that she's been activated by now.
Which means there's a good chance there'll be a fight. Alright. Yeah, this would be too much for the normal authorities. Sounds like it'll be right up my alley.
The man who ran the group 2 generations ago is Koetsu Kirijo. I hate that guy. He was the founder of the group and also Mitsuru's grandfather. Around 10 years ago, some research that she was working on brought about a huge distortion in this world. The forces that created that distortion were known as shadows. I guess the best way I could describe them would be to say that they are monsters incarnated of the darkness of people's hearts. In any case, there's something completely absurd. There's something completely absurd like that. Koetsu Kirijo used Ergo Research, a facility that would later be known as the infamous Kirijo Ergonomics Lab, to repeatedly perform inhumane experiments. He was artificially drawing out shadows in an attempt to gain powers beyond what mortal man would have. But the experiments failed during the final stages. What remained after a big explosion were over 50 casualties and a distortion in the world that can never be repaired. Normal people are completely unable to sense this distortion at all, and yet the same distortion would cause the entire world to collapse. 3 years ago, Mitsuru and I, along with our friends, devoted ourselves to a fight in order to end the threat of that collapse. The bonds and precious memories I gained from them are engraved upon my heart and haven't faded to this day.
Fighting is not our first option, but I'd be more reassured with you there. We have a general idea of where it was taken, the Inaba area, where there were reports of suspected shadow activity last year.
Okay, I'll meet up with you at the actual location.
Are you heading directly there? You never change. Let me know if you need anything and I'll make the arrangements.
Protein, that's all.
What? No, it's better I don't ask. I'll send you the precise location later. Sorry to call when you've just returned from a trip, but I'm relying on your assistance.
You went to a lot of trouble to create the Shadow Operatives. I won't do anything to tarnish the name. I'll see you there.
The Shadow Operatives. That's the organization I'm a part of. That should be it should be one word. We're a joint task comprised of the Kirijo group and the police. Officially, we do not exist. Our main mission is to deal with shadow-related cases that the police are incapable of handling. Our objective is to prevent or minimize the collateral damage caused by shadows. Shadows can only be defeated by Persona users. Mitsuru, myself, and many of the members belonging to the Shadow Operatives have Personas and knowledge about them. Mitsuru is fully dedicated herself to prevent Kirijo's tainted legacy from falling into the wrong hands. It is the shared duty of all of us in the group. I noticed that I've unconsciously formed my hand into a fist. I have an email from Mitsuru giving me the details of the meeting location. As usual, she thoroughly planned this out.
Inaba, huh?
A smile appears on my face. An opportunity to use all the skills and strength I've been honing. I will commit every fiber of my being and to fulfill the duty I've been given, and I couldn't ask for more. Yeah, save there. The same day, afternoon. I arrive in Inaba earlier than I planned. There's a lot of time to kill before I need to be at the meeting. In order to get a feel for the town and what's going on, I decide to walk around a bit. From the looks of it, it's an ordinary countryside town. I can't believe that the excuse me, that people think a level 4 shadow-related case occurred here last year. As far as I can tell, there doesn't seem to be any disturbance going on right now. It looks like that unit named Labyrinth isn't running amok here either. As soon as I stray from the main street a bit, it's mountains and fields it's mountains and fields as far as the eye can see. The air is clean and traffic is pretty light, so the town has that going for it. This would be a great place to go running early in the morning. I wait for evening to come while exploring as much of the town as I can.
Almost time.
My cape flutters in the wind, and as I shadow box and jog to the meeting area, an intersection on the outskirts of what this town will call its shopping district. Meeting up in a rural area like this is a bit of a tricky situation. Since the shadow operatives do not officially exist, we need to draw as little attention to our mission as possible. Hopefully, we can quickly join up and be on our way so that the residents don't take notice of a bunch of outsiders assembling in their sleepy town. Unfortunately, when I arrive at the meeting point, Mitsuru and the others are nowhere to be seen.
Happen? I doubt she'd run into any trouble she couldn't handle, though.
Could it be that I'm at the wrong place? There aren't any tall buildings to block my view, so I look in every direction. The only thing obstructing my view is a mountain of garbage that looks like it might be a scrap heap or a junkyard. I may as well be diligent and head over there just to make sure. I enter the area, and it is full of all kinds of junk. Cars and household appliances, large and small, are piled into small artificial mountains. I test my footing and begin to climb up the stacks of trash. Looking down, I spout a long black limousine that is completely out of place in this tiny town. I come to a realization and sigh.
Of course. They'd stand out no matter where they were, so they could only park here.
Two of my friends are standing by the limousine. A woman decked out in a fur coat and a mechanical girl. It's Mitsuru and Igus. Right before I call out to them, Igus does something bizarre. She extends her right arm toward the TV screen in front of her, and Igus's hand is pressed right through the screen. Is passing right through the screen. Her steel fingers aren't breaking the screen, the TV screen. They're definitely going inside it. Concentric rings of white light are rippling forth from where she inserted her hand.
It's the same as mine. It's hard to say definitively since this is my first encounter with it, but I believe this reading is from a personality module.
Does that mean our retrieval target is inside the TV?
I don't understand how or why, but it seems that people can enter that TV. If that's the case, it would be the perfect place to hide stolen cargo. That makes things easier.
Sounds like fun.
The two of them look up, surprised.
Akihiko?
I
leap off the mountain of trash and land in front of them.
Didn't show up at the rendezvous point, so I went looking and found you here. This whole TV thing is pretty interesting.
Akihiko, what on earth are you wearing? Just what were you doing overseas?
I love how even she is like, what the hell are you wearing?
Didn't I tell you that I was on a training expedition?
Tell me you came here from the airport like that. Does the concept of keeping a low profile mean nothing to you?
I mean, look who's wearing like a body a body suit and a fur coat. I take a glance at Mitsuru, and I can tell she's summoning up her coldest stare. This clothing allows me to have much better mobility, but I don't think Mitsuru is going to listen to my explanation.
Mitsuru-san, I believe we have lost the right to complain about that.
Glancing at Mitsuru's clothing once again, I can't help but sigh. Since I had already voiced what I wanted to say, I decide not to make a comeback. Mitsuru simply shakes her head and sighs back at me. Seriously, this is what happens when you grow up in a wealthy family, sheltered from the lives that normal people live.
Okay.
I slam my left fist into my right palm. Agus' sister unit, Labris. He's apparently inside a TV located in an obscure part of a countryside town. I gotta wonder, what else could be waiting for us inside?
Aside from that TV, right? And what are we waiting for?
Still the same Akihiko. We don't know the situation inside yet, and we'll need a secure means of getting out.
So what? If we want to get this Labris back, someone has to go inside, right?
Well, that's...
Mitsuru's at a loss for words. I know that I'm voicing my opinion more forcefully than she's used to, but it's what I have to do. I know Mitsuru well enough to sense that she needs someone to prod her into action. Wanting to exert control over every situation is a commendable trait, but in certain situations, waiting doesn't allow you to see any more control. And it also gives your opponent more time to prepare.
Target hijacked a plane to throw her into a TV in this town. If we sit on our hands, it's possible we'll be put in serious danger.
I lock eyes with Mitsuru and take a step towards her.
From how we used to be, we made the choice to fight shadows as professionals. That's why I traveled around the world and trained harder than ever. And now that something's actually come up, you're hesitating? We agreed to do this. I'm ready to stake my life on the mission.
3 years ago, I had said that it was my duty to help in the fight. But looking back on it now, I know that a lot of it was just for kicks. Seeing myself definitively become stronger and experience all that personal growth was incredible. Becoming stronger felt like it would satisfy some deep desire within me. And if I died giving my all against a really powerful opponent, I didn't really mind the thought of going out like that either. I was honestly fighting for myself more than anything else. But now, something has changed me. I wandered around the world and it was... with something in the back of my mind constantly nagging at me. Something about not having a grasp of some part of myself. I know that I want power. The power to protect others. But that feeling has always been there. There's still something else, though. Something different. A few seconds of silence pass, then Mitsuru's eyes narrow. Her eyes are filled with a steady determination.
All right. Wait right here. I need to go make a phone call first.
Okay, but make it quick.
Mitsuru heads toward the long limousine with a wry smile. I turn my gaze towards the most prominent of the illegally dumped TVs. As I reach out towards the screen, my fingers sink into it in exactly the same way Agus's did.
My fists are ready for action.
Excitement wells up within me as a reaction to the new sensation I feel from my fingertips.
The other members will wait here in the car.
Yeah. If we all barge in and something happens, they'll be devastated.
Now that you mention it, at least one of us should be staying behind as well.
I am not staying.
Labras best girl. Not Labras, Igus.
We'll end
P3 best girl.
No problem.
The same as always. Although, we have no idea what might be waiting for us on the other side. Don't get careless.
Right.
This situation, it brings back memories.
Ready!
Why enter the TV? What's going on?
And since we're about to enter the main crux of the game, when I open my eyes again, the first thing I can see is a high ceiling. To get my feet, I get to my feet and look around. Basketball hoop, a ground lined with white tape, and folding chairs stacked high into the air.
Is this a gym?
What I'm seeing now isn't matching what I'm expecting to be seeing. If my memory is correct, I entered the TV with Mitsuru and Igus. Is this what it's inside the TV? Then it hits me. This isn't reality. Everything looks extremely real, but I sense our presences nearby. I brace myself inside the oddly quiet gym. If I'm the only one here, I must be cautious. I'm alone? I suddenly realize that Mitsuru and Iga should be here too. They came into the TV with me, but they're nowhere to be seen. Did we get separated from each other as we were falling in? No, it's more likely that we were separated intentionally. Well, I don't really need to worry about them. I'm pretty sure they'll be able to handle anything in here on their own. Even if something does attack them, those two will just counterattack with icicle executions and machine guns.
This feeling in the air reminds me of somewhere, though.
I felt this harsh atmosphere before. I dig through my memories. That's right, this is what Tartarus felt like. The tower full of shadows where we did battle 3 years ago. Since this area is unfamiliar and I'm assuming hostile, there's no knowing when an enemy may attack. But waiting around to get ambushed isn't really my thing. It's time for me to get moving. Just as I think that... What in the world is that? A bizarre object approaches me from further inside the gym. It's red, blue, and round. On top of that, it's walking on 2 feet. I've wandered all across the globe to different regions, but I've never seen such a bizarre creature as this.
There's a weird guy in a cape.
Weirder still, it's able to communicate with me.
You think you've got the right to call me weird? You seem suspicious.
How rude! I'll say the same back to you, being half naked and wearing a cape is totally suspicious. Could this be the pervert I've heard rumors about? My innocence is in danger.
God damn it, Teddy.
You're making no sense at all. Who are you? Oh, don't tell me. Are you a shadow?
Huh? I'm Teddy. Teddy!
So you are a shadow.
I just said I'm Teddy. Teddy!
No bear has fur that color, or can talk.
How cruel! I'm an adorable, sexy beast, no matter what angle you're looking from.
Yeah, sure. Teddy? Teddy? Does that mean he's different from an ordinary kind of bear? Suddenly a monitor nearby springs to life. What appeared on it is also red, blue, and round. It's another bear thing, or to be exact, it was also Teddy.
I can't have you wandering about on your own. You're such a troublesome bear. You're the troublesome one! How dare you do whatever you want while looking like me? It's a violation of my image rights!
Violation?
What's going on? Are you twins or something?
Huh? I've discovered an unknown half-naked caped man! An intruder! Unexpected!
I think we broke him. Suddenly, the sound and image in the on the monitor get corrupted. Just when I thought I was going to start figuring some things out about this place and those creatures. The screen flickers and dies out. Is this some kind of ruse? The monitor pops back on. Once again, it was Teddy's. This is too confusing. I'm just going to refer to the TV bear as bear number 2. People in a lot of overseas cultures add suffixes like the second or the great onto their kids' names. And so I figure I'll go with something similar. I'm pretty sure the great is a title you earn, or rather a title you earned in the ancient world. I'm in some crazy TV world, so I'm not just going to assume that these guys are Japanese. Like bear number 2 is going to care anyway. I've wasted enough time rationalizing this. Bear number 2's eyes gleam in a similar manner. He starts speaking clearly now.
04, unintended intruder. Entering elimination process.
Elimination, huh? I don't really have any clue as to what's going on yet. But I do know that bear number 2 is has just won the right to be the first one here to taste my fists.
I don't know exactly what's going on, but I've seen enough. Looks like you're the enemy here, bear number 2.
I'm not sure how much shock I should put in how much stock I should put in common sense while I'm in this TV world. But he's using a PA system. I'm guessing there needs to be some kind of control booth for it. Since I'm in some kind of school. That means that I'm probably going to find bear number 2 in the announcement room. If Labras isn't inside here, and if bear number 2 is running this whole event, he's got to have some kind of information about her. I turn to Teddy.
You, Teddy? He seems to be your enemy too. But why don't you step down and let me handle him?
I proceed to walk off in search of the announcement room. But...
No way!
What?
I mean, who are you? You haven't even told me your name. And that bear might be a bad guy who tricked my beloved sensei and friends. I can't leave this in the hands of a half-naked caveman like you.
Teddy looks surprisingly resolute as he refuses my offer. Does he have friends of his own that he's trying to desperately to protect too?
Your costume is strange. I do like that fire in your eyes.
What's that supposed to mean? Sounds perverted coming from a half-naked cape guy.
Look who's talking!
Hey, I have a name. It's Akihiko Sanada. You don't have to call me half-naked cape guy. And I know I can't prove I'm on your side just by saying so. So judge for yourself whether I'm worthy of your trust. In the ring.
You're that excited to do this?
Fists don't lie, you know? Now come on, and I'll give you everything I got.
I put my fists out in front of me and focus. If one does not face their cowardice, they cannot summon a persona. That's why persona users used to have to undergo the trial of holding an evoker to their heads. But that was simply a ritual to overcome psychological blocks. It isn't a requirement, and it isn't a required step in wielding personas. My resolution has always been within me, after all.
Persona.
I sense power rising from deep within me. That's seriously how this starts. At least we're changing it up a little.
Final. Fight.
Yeah, as you can see, Akihiko is a boxer.
The intruder is a persona user. Difficulties in elimination. Acknowledging as valid target.
Pair number 2 is muttering something on the other side of the monitor after watching our bout. It seems that I've been officially promoted to the rank of valid target.
You talking about me? What do you mean by valid target?
Irregularity has occurred. Multiple intruders detected. Emergency. Emergency. Oh, I know! I've just had a fun idea!
Just as bear number 2 starts speaking like a normal person, the monitor suddenly cuts out. Seriously, who is this guy? One thing's for sure, it's that I need information right now. I lean over Teddy's flattened body and slightly tap the back of his head.
Hey, Teddy, wake up.
No, Kanji, you're crushing me to death.
What's going through this guy's head?
Teddy, wake up.
I smacked Teddy a little more forcefully this time. I was worried that it might make him even flatter, but that's a risk I'm willing to take. Looks like that did the trick. Teddy gets up using whatever weird stomach muscles he has and yells at me while I'm still in that flattened state.
Hey, if you hit me so hard, you'll ruin my beautiful coat of fur. And it's just Teddy, not Teddy.
This is getting to be a pain. Teddy purses his lips and looks away with a huff. I wanted to demonstrate my sincerity with my fists. There's no doubt that I did that. Then again, considering how badly flattened he is right now, I get this. It's understandable that he doesn't want to talk to me.
Well, maybe I went a little too far. Let me at least talk to you. I have important business here too. I need as much information as I can get.
Aren't you going to say sorry?
Don't push your luck, or I'll pull out all your fur.
I was just joking! Well, I am a knowledgeable bear, so I'll make an exception for you and listen.
Sorry about that. Hey, I'm the one who won. Where does he get off with this attitude? It doesn't feel right letting that slide, but I don't want him getting all pouty again. I take a deep breath and turn to face Teddy. I mean Teddy once more.
First off, what kind of world is this?
It's the TV world.
Well, at least I was right about that. Teddy then went on to explain that there is a mysterious TV program called the Midnight Channel that only appears at midnight. That TV broadcast is called by this world inside a TV. It seems that Teddy is back to his original appearance, or rather, his original thickness. He's like a big stress ball.
That's hard to believe. But even if that's true, why does it look like this? Is this supposed to be a school or something?
This is probably the school that Yosuke and the others go to.
What do you mean, probably? You went there!
It's a real place?
This world changes whenever someone comes here. I'm not sure why it's a school now, though.
It changes when people come here.
I used to live here for a long time, so I saw it happen a lot.
You lived here? Well, does that mean you're from this world? What are you?
That's,
Teddy starts clamming up all of a sudden. He started getting nervous when I blurted out the realization that he was living in this world and that he wasn't human. Embarrassed about being different from humans, huh? He definitely doesn't look human, but it's easy enough to overlook because he's able to easily carry on a conversation with me. And his fists definitely had heart. I get this immediately springs to mind. She's a machine, but she also has the same heart as a person. Though this Teddy may be some kind of costume creature, he must have a heart as well. That being said, he does look pretty stupid.
There's so much I don't understand. But I can at least say I'm pretty sure you're no threat.
Of course not. I'd never cause anyone any trouble.
If you know this world so well, does the name 5th Generation Labrys sound familiar?
I've never heard of it. Every day's great at Juness. I usually spend my time there. When I came to, I was locked up here. I managed to escape, though, only to find that an imposter Teddy was causing a bunch of trouble with his P1 Grand Prix.
He was bummed out not a minute ago, but now his face is bright red and there's steam pouring out of his head. This guy is a real piece of work.
The guy who showed up on screen looked exactly like you.
He calls himself the General. But don't confuse me for that phony. The real Teddy is made of all natural bear fur.
If that was someone in disguise, there must be a reason he's trying to look like you.
Ooh, I know. It must be because he's jealous that Sensei and everyone love me the most. He's not 1/1,000,000th as cute as me. Anyone can tell he's a fake.
Yeah, it's totally obvious. I recall what Teddy said about the Midnight Channel earlier. Some of the things that happen in this world are broadcast to the outside world. If that's the case, then misinformation may be spread, and people could be confused or misled. At this moment, I'm not sure why someone would be intentionally causing such confusion. But this Teddy guy mentioned that his friends were here. If Bear number 2 was in opposition to them, then it's not too big of a stretch to imagine that he's trying to turn them against each other.
One last question. You said you used to live here. You know how to get out?
Of course! That was one of my specialties. I always helped other people when they needed to leave. But it's not working here for some reason. I'm losing my confidence. This is one bear of a headache.
Whoops. Bad Teddy.
Ooh, that was an advanced joke.
This is no laughing matter. We won't be able to get out like this.
That wasn't advanced at all. Sheesh. He did give me valuable information, though. I now have somewhat of a grasp of the situation. My main objective is retrieving Labrys and escaping this world. I won't be able to accomplish either of these things as it stands. And all we can really do on our own is speculate. So bear number 2, the general, was it? I have to pound some more detailed answers out of him. All I need to do is keep moving forward. And if I'm going to move forward, I don't see the harm in doing it quickly.
That's it. You're coming with me.
I'm assuming that I'm probably going to need this guy's help getting out of here later, so I grab the back of Teddy's head and sprint forward. But as soon as I'm about to exit the gym, Teddy gets completely stuck on something.
You're gonna tear it off!
I look behind me and Teddy is wildly flailing his arms around. But I don't see anything holding him back. What kind of trick is this?
You almost made me lose my head!
Ignoring the huge fuss Teddy is making, and I reached over toward as where Teddy is stuck. But I don't feel anything. I guess I'll just have to try again. I pull the back of Teddy's head toward me with my full strength. He is definitely stuck on something. For a moment, it looked like the zipper of Teddy's neck warped. Whatever, it's probably just my imagination.
Looks like there's a wall that I can get through, but you can't. What a bizarre place this is.
Says the half-naked cape guy who pulled at my head so hard it almost came off!
Well, I'll have to leave you here. Make sure you don't go anywhere alone, you hear me?
I can't burn any more time here. As I turn my back towards Teddy and proceed on, his yell echoes inside the gym.
I won't let you abandon me! I get lonely real fast! I'm coming with you!
Ow! An enormous crash reverberates through the area. When I turn around, I see a flattened Teddy fluttering to the ground, like a sheet of paper falling off a desk. He must have gotten a running start and slammed right into whatever is there at full force. Did he just run headfirst into an invisible wall without even thinking about how much it would hurt? This guy said that the general is an enemy of his friends. And because his friends are at risk, he can't just leave everything to me. His lack of regard of personal safety may be because he's so worried about his friends. He behaves oddly, but once you look past that, I can totally empathize with him.
Sorry. I'll come back for you when all this is settled.
I just hang tight. Just hang tight, Teddy. I know it's a tough situation. I hurry to where the enemy is. It's for my mission and for the sake of Teddy and his friends. When I step outside the gym, I hear a cheer from somewhere. The voices seem to be coming from inside the school's building. Did a large number of people come into this world? This place is supposed to be a world inside a TV, but this kind of seems like a real school. It seems like it feels like an event, like a culture festival or field day. There's still so much about this place that I don't know. There were many parts of Teddy's explanation that I couldn't grasp. I need first-hand knowledge. I need to see something with my own eyes. I step out to what looked like the school's main gate and check the nameplate.
Yasagami High School. I remember seeing that name in the report on Inaba.
So what Teddy told me was true. This place seems to be based on a high school that actually exists. But why recreate the high school building inside a TV? As I'm taking stock of my surroundings, a high-pitched girl's voice emanates from a nearby speaker.
Ladies and gentlemen, what will the next match be like?
An abrupt and confusing school announcement. Cheers arrived from somewhere, seemingly in response to the announcement. I sense the presence of others, and when I look around, I notice silhouettes of humans that seem to be watching from all angles. Are they human? They certainly look like they're human, but I don't sense any life in them. No matter where in the world I went, people who were excited about a battle had a certain spark to them, and these guys don't have it.
Wow, this is one fired up crowd. Hi everyone, I, Rizette, will be your commentator. But first, the General would like to say a few words. The mic's all yours, sir.
As if answering the commotion, the monitor set up in the center turns and it turns on. That General Teddy appears on the screen.
Well then, I'm proud to announce the opening of our very own P1 Grand Prix!
Good God, the bear puns.
Presenting the manliest of all men! Oh, so you've come this far. I applaud your bravery in not running away.
Still hiding behind a monitor? It's about time you showed up in person. I'll crush you.
Nope, sorry, but I'm not falling for a cheap ploy like that. You better follow the rules. Allow me to explain. The P1 Grand Prix is a one-on-one battle. Those who are paired off must fight. Only the winner may move on.
Only the winner may move on? Then that invisible wall that Teddy ran into with his face must be part of the contest this guy set up.
Interesting. Who are you gonna make me fight?
A bizarre laugh plays, and the image on screen switches. What showed up next seemed like an odd commercial for a P1 Grand Prix. If someone produced a video like this for the event, does that mean everyone here is a willing participant? From the looks of it, they seem to be like ordinary students. I just don't think everyday students like this would be involved in the hijacking of an airplane and the stealing of Labras, but...
Who are they?
I don't have to answer that.
Sorry, but I don't have time to play along. I'm taking back Labras.
You are?
Huh?
The General on the screen looked shocked by my words. He'd been evasive or just laughing at anything I said until now, so this obviously struck a nerve.
I think everything's gonna be that easy for you. You all should suffer, and then suffer some more!
I'm not sure what specifically antagonized him, but it seems like he definitely knows something about Labras. You think he can make me suffer, huh? Well, bring it on. I flourish my cape and head into the school building.
Easy, huh?
I think about what the General said a moment ago. Honestly, I can't really think about it too many times in my life when things went easy. I can't think of too many times in my life where things went easy. Growing up as an orphan, my memories of losing what was precious to me, I've never gotten too burdened by it, but I've constantly been pitied by others for my misfortunes.
I never expected it to be.
The pain of loss is my source of determination. I must stay strong in order to protect those who are precious and by my side right now. I proceed through the school building, and after climbing a number of stairs, I notice something odd. This place is bigger on the inside than it looks on the outside. The hallways don't turn in the direction you'd expect based on how the outside of the building looks. And the way the classrooms connect with each other is bizarre as well.
This is what I'd figure another world would be like.
I reach towards an upcoming corner, and I come into contact with an invisible wall. I see. So this is what prevented Teddy from following me. I couldn't have done much earlier, but now I can actually touch it. I put all my strength into that strike, but the wall barely gave at all. If it shakes, that means it's taking some damage. If I keep attacking it, I may be able to break through a portion of it and pinch my way out. But I really don't know how much of this whole charade I can break through by destroying these walls. It wouldn't be a smart way of expending my energy. That's when something catches my eye, a window. When I reach towards it, the invisible wall doesn't impede my progress.
Whoever set this up only thought about blocking people's paths. Anywhere there already was a real wall got overlooked.
Yeah, this is exactly what Chie was seeing in her story. I'm not obligated to play the enemy to play by the enemy's gimmicks. If they want me to go one way, maybe I can gain an advantage by taking a route that they don't expect.
I'll just go another way.
I put my hand on the window's frame and jump outside. I land near a classroom that seems to be partly below ground level. Depending on how long this takes, we might stop at the next save screen, and the next save point. I look through one of the windows. Though the interior is odd, it looks like a music room. The window is closed, and it's still just a glass window. But it's still just a glass window. If this was a real school, I'd hesitate to do this, but hey, it's a fake world. I rear back and put my fist through the window.
Whoa! Who are you?
There's someone else already inside the room. He's a well-built young man in a school uniform.
You're that guy from the video.
Did you just come falling from up there? What's going on? Answer me!
I remember now. You're the blood-curdling beefsteak emperor.
Hell no, come on! Did you even try to remember my name?
So that P1 Grand Prix thing has already started.
I recall the rule that those who encounter each other must fight. The general said that only the winner can proceed. I decide to see if those rules are still in effect and reach toward the exit of the music room. I feel the same wall I felt earlier barring my path. Same goes for the window I came from. It's irritating that I'll have to follow the rules and fight, but since the walls can't be easily destroyed, I've got no choice. I don't know what kind of circumstances this kanji guy's faced with, but if we're gonna fight, we might as well do it right.
Take off your clothes.
What the hell? How can you ask that straight out?
What's wrong with what I said? Would it be hard to maneuver wearing that?
Good lord.
Maneuver?
Why is he getting all flustered? His face is red. Maybe he's not feeling well?
What are you all flustered for? I'm talking about your jacket. If you don't wear it right, it'll get in your way during the fight.
Oh, my jacket? You just said that to begin with? No real meaning behind this. It's like, just the way I wear it.
It's plain weird.
The guy who's half naked except for a cape.
Seriously, you're ridiculous. It's bad manners to jump out a window like that.
The general makes a disgusted face and seems to be pretty upset with me mucking up his plans.
Say, I've never been big on manners. Too bad things didn't go your way.
We'll see if you can keep that attitude up for long. You must fight whoever you're paired with. Now get started.
I understand that, but I can't attack someone who doesn't have the urge to fight. I turn towards Kanji to spur him on, but his expression is completely different than it was before. The redness in his cheeks is gone, and there's a fire in his eyes that almost seems murderous. Ha! Looks like there was no need for me to worry about me after all.
You keep saying the weirdest crap. Looks like I'll have to make you leave. Let's get this started, KP.
What, now you're interested? Alright, come and get me.
Not really strong anyway. Just a fake. Nothing worthy about it.
Oh boy.
What's that supposed to mean?
Shut up! Why not ask yourself that? Here goes.
Okay, we are going to do this fight, and then we're going to end stream.
Finally.
Ow! And that takes care of that. We'll have to continue. We'll have to continue this another time. All right, thank you all so much for watching, and it was good to get back to this game again. But I do want to like expand the Sunday playthrough just give a little more variety since it's taking this long to get through the story. But I hope you all enjoyed. This is a great deal of fun for me. Before we go, let's set up for the raid. neither Kyrie or anyone else I know is streaming, so I'll rate Hoshino. All right. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. This is Metis Balaska signing out.